Hi, my name is Mandy Buchanan, and I'm the owner of Go Deeper Bible Studies. And in today's video, we are going to be having a look at the significance of the gifts that the Magi brought to Jesus. In Matthew 2, it says, "After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, 'Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it arose and have come to worship him.' When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the people's chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. 'In Bethlehem in Judea,' they replied, 'for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel.' Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, 'Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me, so that I too may go and worship him.' After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route." So these three gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, were specifically chosen because they have special meanings. Gold is well known for being a sign of royalty. It was often used in the Old Testament tabernacle and also often used by kings because it is a sign of wealth and, yes, often referred to royalty. So gold was a sign that Jesus was the king, our King of Kings. Now, frankincense is a sign of the priesthood. And we can find in Exodus 30, reading from verse 34, "Then the Lord said to Moses, 'Take fragrant spices, gum, resin, onycha, and galbanum, and pure frankincense, all in equal amounts, and make a fragrant blend of incense, the work of a perfumer. It is to be salted and pure and sacred. Grind some of it to powder and place it in front of the ark of the covenant law in the tent of meeting, where I will meet with you. It shall be most holy to you.'" Now, this fragrant incense was often used in the temple and in the work of the temple and to anoint the priests. And this was made of frankincense. And so we see that frankincense depicts Jesus as our high priest. As it says in Hebrews, that Jesus was the ultimate high priest who entered once for all into the Holy of Holies by his own blood, rather than the high priests who used to have to continually sacrifice bulls and rams in order to enter into the Holy of Holies. And the last gift that was presented was the gift of myrrh. Now, myrrh was often used in embalming in ancient times, and it was a symbol of mortality. And so for us, in looking at Jesus, it is a sign of his coming as the suffering servant to die for our sins. And we see that myrrh was used in Jesus' burial. In John 19, verse 39, it says, "He was accompanied by Nicodemus, the man who earlier had visited Jesus at night. Nicodemus brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 70 pounds. Taking Jesus' body, the two of them wrapped it with the spices in strips of linen. This was in accordance with the Jewish burial customs. At the place where Jesus was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb, in which no one ever had been laid, because it was the Jewish day of preparation, and since the tomb was nearby, Jesus they laid Jesus there. So we see here that myrrh was used in Jesus' burial. And so these three, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, relate to the three characteristics of Jesus. The gold refers to his royalty, the frankincense refers to him as our priest, and the myrrh refers to him as our suffering servant who died in our place to forgive us for our sins. So today's been quite a short message, but I hope that you've gained from it. And we also have an article on our blog about it, which I'll leave a link to in the description below if you'd like to take a look there. But thank you for joining us today, and I hope we'll see you again next time. Thank you and goodbye.